Go Mustang, the Coach Alexander Show, brought to you by Kim Assad, your real estate broker.
Hello, Mustang Nation. Matt Carnes, Grapevine Booster here for Week 10 of the Coach Mike Alexander Show with head coach of your Grapevine Mustangs, Coach Mike Alexander. And Coach, first regular season's done, and you finished 8-2. Tell us about season one as head coach of the Grapevine Mustangs.
Well, just in reflection, it was a good year. I felt like overall we probably let one slip away out in Abilene. I lost another one to a very talented Heritage team. Didn't play our best ball, but at the beginning of the season, 8-2. I don't know if I'd have taken 8-2. I'd want to go 10-0, but
as would any coach.
It's we're here and we have the top seed in the Division II playoff bracket. So we're overall pleased with where we are as a team. I think the season kind of lined out like I thought it would. I thought that our offense would be pretty consistent throughout the season, and I thought our defense would improve and get better as the season went on. And our kids have 8 times just found different ways to win games, and just feel really blessed to be able to coach the squad.
Well, it's been a great season, done a great job coaching them, at least from the fans' perspective. We've enjoyed watching it for sure. You finished up the regular season the other night with a big one out in Birdville on the road. Game didn't start off the way you wanted it to.
No, it didn't.
But you in the first quarter up 21-7, and it didn't look like it was going that way. So the team really rallied quickly. Tell us about the Birdville game the other night.
Well, it was one of those situations where it didn't start out the way we wanted to, obviously. We had a block in the back on the opening kickoff, and, special teams penalties will always come back to bite you. And then we had to punt out of our own end zone. We did something a little bit different. We practice it, but, basically we decided to punt the ball to the left as opposed to the right. And running back got his wires crossed and stepped in front of Allen, and he punted it off his back. And next thing you know, we're down 7. But, it was one of those deals that our kids were confident. We knew in a 4-quarter game that we were a better football team, and that was what the battle cry on the sideline was. It's a long game. Just go back out and keep playing. And we felt like we could get enough stops defensively, and we knew we'd score points. It was just a matter of time before we got rolling.
Well, we'll meet David and Jordan Brooks West here later in the show. Offensively, they put on a heck of a show for you. Talk about those two guys.
They're 2 of our better players, and we rode them the other night. There's no doubt, and we'll continue to ride them in this playoff run. I think you're at the point in the year at this juncture where you better get the football to your best guys, and you better be playing them on defense when you need to, and we're doing that. We're not, if we're gonna get beat by a team, we're gonna get beat by a team with our best ones on the field, and that's kind of what we've decided to do. And both of those guys have stepped up and helped us on defense, along with Alex Vergara, and that's helped us a ton. Our pass defense has gotten much better since we've made that switch, and we'll just continue to ride those guys.
Well, speaking of the defense, let's take a look at some of the plays here the other night, and one of which you talk about Jordan Brooks West. We'll see him here on his interception, but just tell us what's going on through here.
Yeah, so this is one of the first pass plays of the night, against Birdville. They're a team that they don't put a whole lot on their quarterback. They rely heavily on the run game and then the play action series to get to throw to open receivers. And this is a situation where we got a lot of pressure on the queue early. We felt like if we got them in 3rd and longs, we could definitely take advantage of their offensive line with our quicker defensive linemen, and which we did. This is just a little sprint out coverage. Like I said, coverage was really good most of the night. Quarterback didn't have a lot of options, so that was actually a 4th down stop. So we got a turnover there, but just really proud of our guys. They were locked in defensively, ready to play. This was a great play by Jordan. He's just in man coverage. Kid runs a curl route, ends up taking it from him and going the other way. Man, I thought he was going to score, but he's a competitor. And to take that ball away from that kid the way he did, just speaks to the warrior spirit that he has.
And I think we've got one more coming up here where Cole Stevenson just swallows up a quarterback.
Yes. Once again, anytime you're getting pressure and the quarterback doesn't have anywhere to throw, it's usually twofold. The linemen are doing a good job, and also there's good coverage downfield, and that was a combination of both right there.
Well, the defense had a great night. Offense, again, had a good night. And you've got, of course, Alan Bowman, 4 years in. He's thrown over 10,000 yards as a four-year starter for the Mustangs. 111 touchdowns. Of course, he's not done yet. It's been just a heck of a deal. Talk about what it's going to mean going to the playoffs now with Allen and the rest of this offense.
Well, Allen's in that boat. We're of our better players. We're gonna put the game in his hands, and we're gonna continue to ask him to make great decisions, and we got to do a better job protecting him. I wasn't real pleased at times with our protection of the night. Offensively. We were very dynamic at points, and then at other points in the first half, we were just a little bit off. We need better focus on that side, definitely moving forward throughout the playoffs. But, Allen's going to get an opportunity to put this team on his back and see how far we can go.
Before we get into the playoff opponent coming up, talk a little bit about the sub-varsity and just how strong the program in the future looks like it's coming along.
Yeah, no doubt. I think anytime you look program-wide and every one of your teams, has a winning record, and not just barely. I mean, I think starting with our JV, we're 8-2. Freshman A team was 8-2, or 7-3, excuse me, and then the freshman B team was 8-2. So, we won a lot of football games. Obviously, won a lot more than we lost. And the bigger thing than the wins is the improvement that was made. I mean, some things that get lost in the JV 8-2 season. Well, they were hit with the injury bug, and they just kept finding ways to get wins, and I was just really proud of those guys. And then the freshmen coming from 3 different feeder systems, and not having a cohesive unit coming in through 2-a-days, and just and you saw it, the improvement that they made, from week 1 to week 10 was just crazy.
It's huge.
So they're a fun group. We moved up about 20 freshmen to practice with us through this playoff run, and they're out there tonight just getting after it and having a good time, and not timid at all. That's the goal throughout the playoffs for these younger kids to get up there and practice with the varsity and see what spring ball is going to be like. It's just a precursor. There's no secret why the better teams in the state of Texas continue to be the better teams, because they win in the playoffs and they move their younger kids up and they just keep practicing. It's just like an extra spring football season for them right now. So that's how we're approaching it, and we're hoping that it'll pay dividends in the future.
Well, it probably will. It does for a lot of those programs. Before we go on to that program also, talk about these men and some of the things your players get to do on and off the field and what they mean to the community.
Well, and that's one of the things I'm just so proud of our kids. When their needs, all I have to do is just present a need, and our kids will step up to the plate and meet it. For example, 2 weeks ago, Timberline Elementary School, they had their Taste of Timberline. And Timberline's a unique campus, a little different than some of our other elementary schools. The parent participation is not quite as high, and they needed some help to make that event be special. And so our kids jumped in on a Saturday, gave up about 4 to 5 hours of their Saturday, and they went over to Timberline and worked booths, served food, help make these kids' day really, really special. And it's not something that we do probably the best job of publicizing and making it known community-wide, but it is worth noting that our kids are out in the community serving. We have a program we call Mustang Serving Others, and that's what it's all about, And then this past week, we sent 12 kids to work the MP Super Bowls. I say work. Mm-hmm. They just went out and just stood on the sidelines and encouraged kids and just made their day just a little bit more special, And that's what it's all about, is giving back to the community and being visible out there.
Well, last year they went out and became the opponent for the team when they had a cancellation. So that made a heck of a day for those young kids. Mm-hmm. Well, it's time to move on now. The second season, as you call it, playoffs are here. And your first opponent, YMLA, been quite a newsworthy story. The Star Telegram has really fallen in love with this program. Of course, it's only a 2-year program, so Hollywood script somewhere in the mix here. But you've got Team 2 versus Team 98. Tell us what we're looking for here with YMLA.
I mean, it's going to be fun. You know, like many of the 4 schools, they're just extremely athletic. You know, you look across the board and they have skill kids that you just kind of make you drool. You know, they have height and length and they're fast and they have a quarterback that's last year was at Nolan Catholic as a receiver and he was an all-state receiver. So he's a very talented skill kid and he's back there at quarterback and he can throw it a little bit, but what he does really good is run the football. And you know, his highlight tape is ridiculous. You know, he's running left, reversing field again, and then, you know, finding some receiver downfield to throw the ball to. And so he puts defenses in a huge bind. So defensively, I think we have a huge challenge just to contain this kid. That's what we spent our whole focus on today. We had freshman quarterbacks, JV quarterbacks, just running around all over the place at practice and just trying to simulate what we're going to see. So you know, they're tough. They're going to be a tough out for sure. Hopefully, offensively, we'll get rolling and they'll struggle with some of our passing game. You know, most people do. So we're hoping we can score some points early while defensively we're trying to sort out how to get this guy stopped.
Well, for those who don't know, the YMLA, the Young Men's Leadership Academy, is a magnet school in the 4th Independent School District. And they do get to pull athletes from quite a few other different school programs. And Coach Joseph Heath has actually not rebuilt this program. It's actually a building program. And they talk about when he started this program, they didn't have a single weight.
Yeah.
They have photographs of kids actually doing jump rope in the men's room. So quite a story for these guys in year 2 to be in the playoffs.
You know, that's what high school athletics in Texas is all about, I think. You know, they're an easy group to admire, you know, because these kids did. They, you know, 2 years ago they had nothing, and now they're competing, and they're competing at a pretty high level. I think they went 4-2 in district play, you know, and so it's, you know, like I said, it's going to be a fun game. We just want to get out of there with a win. It doesn't matter the score this week.
Well, that's what it's all about. It is win or go home time. So we'll see how the Mustang playoff run starts this Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Pennington Field. Be there, come loud and proud. Don't forget Men Breakfast of Champions, 7:30 at the Field House. Bring plenty of food for yourself and plenty of hungry football players. And we will see you Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Coach, thanks again. Congratulations on the end of the first full season, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thanks, Matt.
We are here with Grapevine senior wide receiver Jordan Brooks West. Jordan, it's been fun watching you come over to the Mustang program this year, and had a great season, about 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns so far. And when I met you first in the part of the season, I told you that this was a big season, not only for the Mustangs, but for the fact that you're filling up that number 2 jersey that we got to watch last year. So it's been fun watching you fill in that number 2 jersey for the Carnes family. But tell us about your senior season here at Grapevine.
Well, when I first got here, they were very welcoming, and when I first got here, it was like a really part of like the family. And as the season progressed, we started playing really, really well. It's just been a fun experience.
Well, it's been good, and you certainly helped spread the offense out with your speed and ability to make people pay. And Birdville the other night, you got a chance to do that. Tell us about that 85-yard touchdown.
Well, we had a different play call, which is actually funny. And Alan checked over, and he saw that the corner wanted to play press. So he checked it to a go, and he was playing outside leverage. So I hit him with the move at the beginning, just ran. He couldn't catch up.
Mustangs have it again. First down and 10 at the 15. Looking to pass right side, and this is in the breadbasket at the 40, the 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Grapevine. 85 yards to the house, and the Mustangs take the lead.
Well, that was a big one. The team needed that when it happened. And also the interception, which was really more of just an outright theft. And being an only child, it's impressive to see you know how to take the ball away from someone else like that. Tell us about that play.
Well, when you go out in defense, the coach tells you you're still a receiver. So if the ball is anywhere like in your vicinity, you got to go up and get it. And the ball was there, and I went to grab it, and he grabbed it too, but I decided it was mine. Just took it away.
And it was almost a pick six. You're one shoestring away from a pick six.
Yes,
so
sir.
you were 10 yards and one. But did you think you had it?
Well, I was running, and I saw 3 people in front of me, and then I saw a blocker to the left. So I went towards the blocker and then wanted to go back outside, and he just tripped me up right at the end, but it's all good.
Well, if it hadn't been for that one little shoestring, you were definitely there because there was nobody between you and the goal line after that. So that was good. So now we're moving into the second season, as Coach calls it, heading into the playoffs. Tell us what we're looking for with you and the Mustangs in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, just going to keep running our offense how we run it, and hopefully they don't press, play man.
Well, I'm sure if they do, your coaches will have a good solution for that. So that's good stuff. We're looking forward to seeing you next week, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
You bet. We are here with Grapevine Mustang junior wide receiver David Clayton. David, for the second year in a row, you've been just an incredible target for Alan Bowman and this Grapevine offense. You've finished up this season so far with about 1,000 yards, but you had a great night the other night. 3 touchdowns, 178 yards, 11 catches against Birdville. Tell us what was going on the other night against Birdville.
Really, they ran man across the board, and when they run man, we see it as an opportunity for us to go short. And our coaches had a really good game plan throughout that entire week. Throughout practice, we talked about execution, holding on to the ball. What we do is when a linebacker blitz, he can route up, and so I did that a few times, and it got me in the end zone really.
Well, it's been fun watching you and Alan with all the connections through the years. And of course, you've got another year to go, so we're looking forward to a whole other year. But you've got playoffs, second season starting.
Yes, sir.
Tell us what we're looking for in the playoffs here from you and the Mustangs.
We're looking to execute. This team, they run man 3-2. We're ready. We're out there practicing. I'm not gonna lie, today we got after it today. I mean, there was no walking on the field whatsoever. We learned a few new plays. Me and Jordan and Alex all switched off on defense because we're trying to get in where we fit in. And basically, we're doing everything we can to win this first playoff game.
Well, it's going to be fun to see that. We've been having fun watching the last couple of years. Looking forward to seeing some more action out of you.
Yes, sir.
And no question, we'll be watching you on Saturdays here in a couple of years. So
Yes, sir.
keep it up, and we're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
You bet.
Go Mustang. The Coach Alexander Show, brought to you by Kim Assad, your real estate broker.